humankind or something like that. Say that again. And it was based on Hinduism, and it was talking about like we're in the state of going into the next.
Nah, Hinduism is evil. Nah, have you
You
seen
think
India?
so?
Have you
I
seen
mean,
India?
I'd like
Only
to. I'd like to think that there's value and points in every single religion that's out there. There's something that I find that kind of gives me some kind of I don't
we
know.
have to red pill her on the death on the Indian menace, bro. Only an evil country could put that much poop and pollution in the oceans.
I don't think the Indian problem is a Hindu problem.
I don't think it's Hinduism
Uh,
either. Yeah.
what I was saying is that once we reach a certain homeostasis,
Eyes
though,
up, gentlemen.
we do
Give me a
everything
second,
we
guys. Give me a
can.
second,
How
guys.
about no?
Give me a second. Man Dundon, I have not seen you before, but welcome. I need you to turn on your camera in the back. No one else sees you. I just need to make sure that you're not a bomber. If that's not something you can do, I appreciate you either way, but I cannot let you up. It's been kind of crazy late night in these streets, especially for a young lady like me, and especially okay. No,
You need
and
an overlay.
yeah. No, can you actually like move
If
move your
if you have to question it this much, just don't do it.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a normal
Sorry.
person will
Just come up. Yeah.
yeah,
Sorry, man.
or they won't cam up at all. You know.
Right, right. For now, I'm just gonna leave you back there. If you want to come up camped up completely, I'll let you on just because I don't know you. If not, and I'm sorry. So yeah. Why do you need to school me on Hinduism?
It's not
Because
necessarily
because
Hinduism.
because
It's
of the
the
state of
Indian.
India. I
Yeah,
mean,
and
don't we all like fuck up religions though? Don't all men
it's
like?
not just a fucked up religion.
Mhm.
It's the outcome of the society that produced that religion
Right.
that you really can judge a religion by. And India is a very bad place. You should never go there.
No, bro. They bathe in dookie water.
They have festivals where they throw dookie at people. They cook street food with their toes, barefoot.
There's absolutely no way. But I'm separating the man from the doctrine, right? Like I studied Kabbalah this week. I've studied, that's what I do when I'm always having something in the background, even when I sleep, so that I can retain as much information as possible. So, Gnosticism, Mandy, she's puking. Yeah, that's disgusting. I can't even imagine the smell, to be quite honest, because that's
Ooh, brother. Ooh, brother.
no.
Ooh.
Ooh, yeah, no.
Ooh.
I'd like to just finish the point I was making
Yeah, no,
earlier
yeah, this
about
guy, not banana enema.
adaptation.
Now he came in with a banana costume on. No,
Is my mic working?
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's the same guy with the banana costume on. No, I'm okay. You're okay, honey. You're not tonight. Not you. Go ahead.
Yeah. So my point is that when we reach a certain level of like stasis, nobody wants anyone to upset the apple cart. Part of our adaptation is, since the status quo is usually dying and extinction, being able to offset that and find any level of balance in which humans succeed in any way. They're unwilling to make any changes because most changes will lead to a path of complete destruction.
Mhm.
That may serve a species well when it's in its early stages. But now that we're nearing a type 1 civilization, I think that it hinders us. And I think we're already seeing a social evolution occur where the younger people are more willing to accept change, and they're reacting faster to economic and political signals that something might not be right. So I'm hopeful about that too, but that will definitely be a requirement. People are going to have to let go of that addiction to keeping everything the same and the fear of change, right? Like, if you tell people we want to go ahead and pay for all your health care so that even if you're poor or you don't have a job or you're disabled or you're sick, you're always going to be taken care of. They tell you they're afraid of that. That's the kind of thinking that holds us back, in my opinion. The fear of change has gotten to a point where it's a fear of progress. We hate the good because we're so used to the okay.
Yeah, I hear you. Hey, Casey, aloha. Welcome. Lindsay, hello, hello, Lindsay. I've never seen you before, but welcome, Lindsay Smith. Welcome, welcome, beautiful. I hope you guys like and subscribe
She's
when you came
stalking
in.
me.
Oh, she's one of yours. Lindsay, I love you already. Okay, listen, you're coming up here with different names, different costumes. I don't know what you I'm not hating on you, my friend. You look like you're a funny character, but I don't know, it's weird. Now he had a hot dog costume, a banana costume on. Now he looks like this guy's a trip. I don't know, do I let him up?
I mean, if you want to derail the panel and potentially get porn bombed just for the fun of it.
God, sometimes you're just a little too realistic for my kids. All right. Go on, guys. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry, Daddy says I can't, buddy. But I think you're funny. He is live right now. I don't
That
know
is
him.
technically not what I said. It's not that big of a deal. If he like makes himself the center of the panel and doesn't violate toss, that's like a 7 on the lame scale, but who cares? And if he breaks toss, you just have to go back and edit it out of the thing. It's not a big deal.
Right.
I'm just saying. This guy sounds like he already has the capability to use filters.
Right. Why would
So
I flash do a shield? Yeah, I know it's not a big deal. I'm just fucking playing around with you. God damn. Always shield up. That's a rookie mistake if you don't. If people flash, I always do. When new people come and on dang, it's because I'm black. No, you're not black. This guy is
Lindsay
funny.
wants the hot dog.
He's put the hot dog on. He's not actually a hot dog. He's a banana.
Just keep
Okay.
in mind that it's almost as likely that she said that because I said not to as it is that she actually wants it.
See, I don't know these different personalities.
Because
LOL,
she's a
no
brat and she's mad at me.
Let me on. I am live currently.
He's restreaming.
Yeah. Book of RLM found you through Orthodox. Appreciate you. You hop chat comms. Appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you, Orthodox. Afternoon, people. So, yeah. What else, guys? I'm taking this whole so tonight I wanted to talk about Candace, but obviously you guys don't like her. You probably didn't watch the video. But I want to dive in a little further in the next couple of days into dark female psychology.
You could force us to watch it.
Yeah. If you guys want to.
Chocolate milk gang.
I want to talk about socialism.
You want to?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think it's like part of why I do what I do on the internet is to shake people from their mental torpor, and I think they're most retarded about economic systems.
Say that
the
again.
least.
I'm sorry, I was distracted. Say that one more
They're
time.
the least ready to hear about the truth about different economic isms, and that's why I like it.
Okay.
Especially Americans. Americans think capitalism is freedom.
Yes.
Socialism is when the government pays for things that you don't want it to.
Yes.
And communism is when the government does things you don't want it to.
Yes.
It's dumb.
You were actually gonna take me through like a step by step as to why you feel that places like Cuba aren't communist, that we don't have an actual example of what communism is.
Definitely not socialism. because the people do not own the means of production in Cuba.
But you also said that it wasn't communism.
I don't see how it is. I asked for
So
an
what would
explanation how it is.
What would you describe it as then?
A fascist dictatorship.
So communism would be a step better than that.
Hey, whoa, Dennis, hold up, wait a minute. Your homie feeling personally attacked.
Who? You? Ortho?
Because I'm a fascist.
Yeah, this one's live.
Dennis is personally attacking me.
Lindsay, it does sound like a great conversation. I hope that you can come up when I have like a bunch of videos. I think that we need to like focus on the ladies and have them have some accountability on how dark they can be, especially when it comes to manipulation of men, people. There's something called the dark triad, which is narcissism, psychopathy, and I forgot what the third one is. But anyway, it's what it's the three things that we use to basically control, manipulate, use, and get what we want. So yeah. So what would you call? Okay, so you said so that okay. So the question that I had that you said it's gonna like a 2-hour like discussion is why they call it communism. Why wouldn't they just call it what it is?
Because communism is our boogeyman. We've been programmed for 100 years to fight communism.
But isn't
It's
fascism, dictatorship worse than communism?
it depends on who you ask.
No.
We also teamed up with the communists to defeat the fascists. If you recall,
That means we're
right?
better. That means we're better. Let's go.
Yeah, Denison doesn't like the isms. He hates the isms. Denison,
Right.
I got so like thrown off and I understand you were pushing me to push my brain to see past the constraints. I get it. But in the
Right.
moment, I was like, how is this man telling me that my parents, my father who lived in Cuba, didn't come from communism? Like, what? I don't in the moment, the natural reptilian defense mechanism kicked in, and I want to just tell you to go fuck yourself.
Yeah, these are
And I was like, he's pushing me to think. I get it. I just can't understand. I don't understand the whole meaning behind having us think a certain kind of way. Why don't they just tell us what it is? What is the ultimate
Control.
agenda or gain? Right.
Yeah,
but
it's
if
about
there's
control.
things out there worse than communism, why not just use the worst things? Isn't that more fear? Isn't that more control? That's right. Hit the like button, guys. I appreciate you, Nightbot.
Because we are talking about two different things. In some sense, the government wants to associate communism with welfare.
Okay.
With welfare and wealth redistribution. Those are the most quote educated end quote answers you'll get from Americans who could think they know something about politics. They'll tell you that communism is wealth redistribution, right? We have wealth redistribution here in America. What all of these? Tell me. Hold on a second.
Did I?
Yeah, sorry. I saw you put your hand up. I didn't want to.
No. I'm just doing two things at once. I'm talking to the chat and listening to you. No, go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. We have command economies in most of these systems is what they really are. And they will associate command economies with communism first and foremost because the most prominent example we have of a truly command economy is
let me say something real quick. For my guys that are watching, the link to RLM is pinned on both the vertical and horizontal on my side. So if y'all want to come and give her a subscribe, all you gotta do is hit the link to this video and hit the subscribe button.
Thank you, guys.
I know somebody had asked in my chat for it.
Thank you, Lindsay. Appreciate you, my love. I've seen you before over at Dusty's. You're beautiful as well. Go ahead.
Yeah, so the most prominent example we have of calling something communism is the Communist Party of the Soviet Union, right? And that is our greatest historical example, I would say, especially modern history, of a command economy. The problem is you don't get to be communist just because you call yourself communist. And I can prove this point very easily. I did it on that panel we were on, which is, why people started talking about my sexuality and my parentry, because they couldn't respond to the argument, which is I asked, Balba, what is the official name of North Korea's government? Do you guys know the acronym?
No, I don't.
OG?
I do know. Hold on. DPRK.
That's right. And what does DPRK stand for?
Democratic Republic, the People's Democratic Republic of Korea.
Right. Now, does North Korea have a republic?
Technically, yes.
How so?
How? Right.
They have a parliament where they hold elections. They just
It's just a show for show.
Yes.
Yeah.
The DPRK wins like 99% of the vote, and like a small. They do, believe it or not, the North Korea does have other political parties that are illegal.
And what is the turnout for that party for those elections?
Like -2.
I mean, wouldn't they like literally get killed or unalived?
No, it's not illegal to run against Kim Jong-un or the Kim family. It's just illegal to vote against them.
I mean,
so it's 100% turnout for the party in power.
Yep.
And who controls the party in power?
Kim Jong-un, Kim Jong-il right now.
Mm-hmm.
Just the one guy, right? Not even his family, just him. Mm-hmm. His sister could be killed at any second.
Right.
She's got no power. So we're literally talking about a singular dictatorship. It's just straight dictatorship. You could argue the parliament, right, is some kind of rubber stamp in between the dictator and the people.
Mm-hmm.
What you would call that, I'd probably need a day or two to research in order to come up with an accurate name for it. But here's what we know it's not.
A totalitarian dictatorship.
Here's what we know it's not, though. It's not democratic. It's not a republic, right? This is the same thing for the Soviet Union. It was never communist. Same thing for the CCP, the Communist Chinese Party. They are not communists. They're capitalists. That C stands for capitalism.
Right.
These people are full-blown capitalists. Now, they believe in having the state control the economic system, and that is called a command economy. And I would maybe the Chinese are a little bit more communist than the Cubans, in fact, if you think about it.
The control comes through the taxation, right? The insane amount of tax that the state puts
No, they just flat out make laws and restrictions and regulations to dictate exactly how every economic interaction goes. And we do that here. The only difference between here and there is here our corporations write those laws. In China, one party, a political party, writes those laws.
Got it. But I mean, wouldn't like really aren't the corporations and the government, the political party, one and the same here?
Yeah, and you know what that's called? Corporatism.
Right.
And do you know who said? Do you know who Mussolini was?
Monster.
One of the founders of fascism, right?
Right.
Whoa!
He said fascism was just another word for corporatism.
Huh.
The bundling of state and corporate power.
It's confusing.
And it's meant to be.
Because it's like just it's a semantics, a fuck up.
Yes.
On semantics.
Yes. It's
Yeah.
deliberately just semantics.
Right.
Every system on Earth is socialist,
Oh,
communist,
newspeak.
capitalist. It's all of them.
Yeah.
And the only difference is the particular group of people who stand at the top fucking everyone else. I'm sorry, are
Right.
you a no F word channel here?
No, I mean, don't worry. Once in a while, it's not going to kill me.
That's
Um,
this is what I'm trying to get Americans to see. They
Mhm.
don't. They don't see it at all. You can't have this conversation.
No, they
with
don't.
them.
They don't just not see it. They get violently angry about
Yes.
Violently angry. Yeah.
it. Yeah. Like
Yeah.
they get retard strength. They don't stand up to pedophiles, but you question their economic system. They ready to kill you.
Right. It's just literally. I had to listen very intently to even take step by step with you because
Right.
you're going against the programming of our language.
Right.
You know what
And
I'm
you
saying?
need the language in order to communicate. It's the only way we can.
Right.
So you really have to break it down, and you have to use comparisons, and you have to show how they're lying with the words or bullshit.
Right. Yeah. So I understand the base of creating the confusion as part of an agenda. And I understand now that keeping us away from certain things that actually might serve us well by changing up the definitions or using different words against their definition. I get all that. The question is like, is there ever really a perfect system? The intricacies are like, there really isn't, right? Because like ultimately at the end of every road, there's going to be some kind of monopoly corruption.
There was, and you fucks murdered
Right.
He's
What did we murder?
talking about fascism.
No, I'm talking about Germany in the 1930s exclusively.
Right, because isn't communism like basically just a commune? Like, isn't that the whole thing? Like communities, like trading, maintaining like these small ecosystems of communities that kind of just take care of each other. Isn't that really
Yes.
a commune?
Yeah.
What that means? Yeah.
And that's why the people who try to appear educated on will tell you communism is great on paper. It's just in practice it becomes completely murderous. It's like nothing becomes murderous just because of practice. They'll have you believe in this rigid immobility of human nature, which I'm sorry, just isn't a thing. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't have made it. We wouldn't have lasted this long. Our plasticity is why we are here.
But what's the difference between you make artichokes, I make cabbage, we want to switch, like you have something I want, I have something you want, we're going to barter, as opposed to I'm going to pay you for something you have and you're going to pay me for something that I have.
A non-controlled medium of exchange.
Right. There's not that much difference.
There
and
isn't.
we could try to rule with morality, but the thing is I can only make so many cows. I can make as many dollars as I want.
Mm.
And I can go ahead.
That medium of exchange is also necessary because not every person's need is the same at any given time. They may not need your cabbages, you may not need my cupcakes, right?
Right.
And I also think that there's a distinct difference.
So then the balance ultimately gets thrown off according to needs, seasons, people, yeah. So that makes sense.
I would argue
That's
that
why
going. Go ahead.
That's why you can't take away from the person who, like the communist saying, from each according to their, I forget how it goes.
Ability.
Like ability
and to each according to their need.
That's why you can't do that, because at the end of the day, why should I be harmed to take care of somebody that refuses to do something?
And that's my problem is it's not a harm. It's a privilege to take care of your fellow man. And it can be rewarding. The state could lavish you with luxury for being an able-bodied person. There's no reason. We're just talking about murderous greed and with a different ism at the end of it.
Right, because if you think about it, if we went back to a much more care for your neighbor, simple, just what you need, not what you want, we would all our needs would be a lot more similar. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
there wouldn't be that not what you need kind of mentality, because we all kind of, as a basic human beings, need the same things to survive.
And it wouldn't stop anybody from going out there and earning and doing more.
Right.
That's a fucking lie. Now, what it might stop is someone who can never get enough. Your robber barons, your Musks, your Bezos, your Rockefellers. Those people, the Koch brothers, those
Right.
people might not be allowed to exist. And you know what? I argue that's not the end of the world.
Walton.
I argue that's a better future. And
But
my
Dennis,
thing is
one day I might get rich. All right?
right,
Wait a minute.
right. And this is my point too, right? I argue that there will be different outcomes based upon whether or not we enter into a situation being lied to about how we can all be billionaires, being lied to about how billionaires are good for the economy, being lied to how about growth of the economy is always good no matter what, bigger is better, being lied to about the fact that there's not enough resources to go around for everyone, including those filthy hordes of Indians and El Salvadorans. Or if we enter into a situation knowing it's easier and better for everyone if we cooperate. The Pareto distribution is a function of nature. It's random and it's not necessarily the best way to run an economy. That if we focus on certain things, we will never become greedy and destructive, and that we need to be aware of our greedy and destructive nature, and we need to constantly create incentives to the contrary. Stop lying to each other about who we are. Admit our faults, admit our mistakes. This can help us mitigate those errors and become better people over time. And ultimately, people want what they're told they want. Right? That's people are happy with what you give them. I just argue that we actually create some connections between health, wealth, longevity, freedom, and what we call happiness and what we call an economy.
A lot of optimism in that. Because then you have to factor in you're basically basing this on the fact that inherently humans are good and they will do the right thing when it comes to each other. Give me one
Not
second
exactly.
though. 45 in the freaking house, man. God bless you guys. Welcome to the Book of RLM, my third stream so far. Wouldn't be able to do it without you guys. We're having a great freaking conversation. I'm learning a lot. Such smart people that I'm blessed to be around every single night. I'm grateful for you guys. If you want to show your appreciation for the stream, for the gentleman, you guys can go ahead and put, like, if you have any cash apps or anything up on your screen. For me or the gentleman, right at the bottom, you see at Rebecca Marino 509. That would be my PayPal, and $, the Book of RLM. That is my Cash App, because right now I'm not set up for monetization just yet, but we are on our way there. And the link is pinned. So please don't be afraid. If anyone wants to come in and join in the conversation, you're more than welcome. It's an open panel tonight. Open panel. Oh, thank you, Mandy. You're so sweet. I appreciate you.
I am definitely not arguing that people are inherently good. I'm arguing that people are inherently a result of the environment that they're in. And right now, we reward, encourage, and foster greed and sadism and brutality. And we could not do those things. We can not only can we not do those things, we can be honest about who we are and where we come from, and in that honesty, make new systems and new incentives to encourage us to be our better selves.
Let me say this real quick. Thank you, Miss Mandy Cush, for the dono. I appreciate you very much.
Appreciate you. Smokey, you're in the vertical chat. That's why you're only seeing 10. So you'd have to click on the actual avatar for the page, and then there's two chats going on. You want to leave the vertical and come into the regular one, and then you'll see what's going on there. Salute to you guys. absolutely well deserved. Thank you so much. Um, yeah. But you're basing it on the fact that it's because of the system that we're in that we operate the way we do. Well, how do you really, honestly, truly know that, or can be sure that that's actually the case?
Because of the way people react at different environments. We come from scarcity, in which we had to beat each other over the head for food. We no longer live in that system, and cooperation works. Now, whether or not this is like a random mutation, I can't tell you.
Okay.
Maybe people who are greedy and violent are incapable of being programmed to be otherwise. I see no evidence for that. I see every single thing that we do as a species as a direct result of programming. Garbage in, garbage out. I can make a person do anything I want simply by changing the external stimuli.
So we're inherently born good.
No, we're inherently born in a feedback loop with our environment. I don't even believe in good or evil.
That's a whole other conversation.
And right now, what I will tell you though is the Pareto distribution seems to be found in nature. This is the challenge. The fact that almost all of the resources go to almost none of the people, and that it has very little to do with hard work, effort, or contribution to the whole, that it's almost seemingly random. That's the challenge, right? So if we can confront that challenge, that's where change exists, in my opinion. Knowing if you enter into this world that most of the work done by most of the people will go unrewarded, and that people will randomly get lucky and move themselves to the top. Knowing that, we can create a system or a model which will
a reward
create a
system
balance.
for the best, for the better, for the ones that chose to do it the right, good and bad, wrong
to
and
create
right.
more
You
of
don't
a
believe in that,
balance.
to create the balance. Because right now, what you're saying, which I agree, the reward system seems to be going only solely to the ones that do the greed, the monopoly, the
Right, because it's just luck based and advantage based, right? So if you're first, you're more likely to have all,
first
even if you're not even that good of a first.
Right.
And
but
and
how
we
do
and
you
we
balance? How do you even start balancing things off equally?
I
mean,
having these honestly have like a social contract based on these kinds of conversations where we go, wait a minute, communism isn't real, capitalism isn't real, we're being lied to, the psychos are running everything. You see, just we can't even admit these things to ourselves. I submit that if we can start telling ourselves these basic truths, we can learn how to correct them, how to create incentives to be better. But no one will. And I also will tell you, submit to you, that is exactly why the powers that be spend all of their money making sure that we don't talk about these things. That you do not know what real capitalism is, what real socialism is. That you don't know that society is being run by psychos.
Well, kind of starting to figure out. If you don't see that now, then you're lost in the sauce. I appreciate you for being cammed up. I don't know exactly what to call you. But I'm gonna go ahead and bring you up while I also cover. Do you guys know who this Can you say something for me?
Hey, how's it going?
MMLA.
These are my best friends. I'm a big fan of
That's Modern Man.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
I think his name is Landry.
That is also my name, yes.
Okay. Welcome, Landry.
Welcome, Landry.
So you really think capitalism and communism aren't real?
Is that what I said?
Yes.
You already know better than Dennison. Just let it go.
I do, but I'm just and again, this could be my naivety and something that I talk about a lot in my more personal streams.
Okay, so I
as like
guess
a
there
personal
seems to be
problem.
energy that I don't know about because people in the chat are going, "Oh boy, here we go."
It's
I don't
just
know.
like I always want to
Landry,
try to
you're
take
new to me, so like salute, welcome to the Book of RLM.
I
Drama
always
Queen
want to
has
try to
arrived.
take the opportunity to try to give everyone the benefit of the doubt
Mhm.
and assume that they're all just equally and willing and capable of learning, right? And that always blows up in my face almost all the time. So I'm just wondering, do I want to go down this road with you when more than likely, and this is no insult to you have no interest in hearing anything I have to say. It's just to find some way to show how wrong I am and to shit on my ideas.
Well, that's
Right?
assuming that everyone's gonna have the same ideas, right? That like you speaking to me, I'm just gonna take all your ideas and say, "Oh, okay, I'll agree with those," rather than just. Isn't it natural to disagree with people?
But you didn't challenge my idea or disagree
Well,
with it.
I asked
You
a
made
question
up a
first.
yeah, but your question was a straw man,
How's
and
it?
it was a deliberately extreme straw man because I had never said that capitalism and socialism aren't real. I said that they're deliberately um, obfuscating terms, especially in our society. And our attempt to label things isn't necessarily the problem. It's when those labels become deceptive, intentionally deceptive, that we have a problem. For example, I don't know if you were here, but do you know what the name of the North Korean government is?
No.
Have you ever heard of the Democratic People's Republic of North Korea?
Sounds familiar.
Do you think that are you familiar at all with North Korean government structure or politics?
Of course.
Do
But
you think that it's democratic?
no.
Do you think it's a republic?
No.
This is my point about language and especially the usage of the word communism in America. The use of the word communism in America is mostly propaganda. To Americans, communism means when the state does something I don't like. Socialism means when the state spends money on things that I don't like. And capitalism means freedom.
I disagree about that though. So that's where it gets down to you're just saying something that I feel like is a stretch. You're saying, okay, do you agree with this, and that? Yes, 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 yes. Okay, well then this. You know what I mean? Like
No. My deduction has nothing to do with the premises that you agreed upon. What you agreed upon is that language is clearly misused and doesn't always be a one-to-one representation for what we're supposed to think it is, right?
of course.
Right.
You know,
Separately, when I ask Americans what socialism is, they tell me it's spending money on shit they don't like. When I ask Americans what they say communism is, they tell me it's when the state forces people or corporations to do things they don't like.
who are you
And when
asking?
I ask them what capitalism is, they say that it's free markets.
And who are you asking?
People like yourself, people that are in the chat, people on these panels
See, that's your
over
problem.
the last 30 years.
The last 30 years?
Yeah,
You've been on these internet streets for 30 years?
more than that. I've been arguing the difference between capitalism, socialism, and communism for over 30 years. I've spoken to thousands and thousands of people from all around the world, many of them from so called communist and socialist places. I've argued about how capitalism isn't much better than socialism with a dude who lives in Venezuela. And it doesn't make me special. I'm just saying it's just an
But it
answer to
does a
your
little bit,
question.
right? It does a little bit because again, we have to sort of overly credit ourselves with our background, right? Which what I would believe
No,
is a desire to be more than, right? Like you see, not only
it's
are my
for
words your
me.
words, you need to know my history because then that way you can believe them. Otherwise, the words on their
No,
own
you
don't stand strong enough, right?
no. We didn't need to talk about that at all. But you insisted on questioning it. We could have just had a conversation in good
Or,
faith.
or do you do that every time?
And no, I don't.
You don't bring up your credentials and how legitimate and valid you are every time that I challenge you?
No, and I don't even think you know what. Every time you challenge me,
Mhm. Yeah, or
of
challenge one of your
course,
perspectives.
of course.
Do you think that
But
the sky?
you could have just discussed it on good faith. And the point of that is,
To disagree with you is not bad faith. It's just a
but you
horrible
didn't.
approach.
But you're not disagreeing with me. You're just questioning the legitimacy of it without discussing it at all.
Well, no, you asked me several questions, right? But I think that that's the best way to communicate is to ask more questions, right?
Yeah, nothing to do with whether or not I think you're qualified to have a conversation about your environment and your reality. I think you're a
I didn't
person with
bring up
eyes, ears, a nose, and a brain.
But did I bring up my qualifications?
I don't know what you're talking about now.
Is that easy to lose you?
Yes.
Fair.
Do you want to elaborate, or you're just going to take the W?
I will take the W every time.
Okay.
RLM.
And this is why I feel like it was a waste of time to even have this conversation. But what I was saying, just a second ago, the point of bringing up having these conversations is, to me, it's about understanding where other people are coming from and what other people think and why they believe. Yes, and that was the whole point of bringing up.
I don't know if I've
how many.
but
It's
do you
easier.
think you do that in
It's a little too interrogative, right? Just slow down just a little bit. I swear I won't talk that long. There's a whole point of bringing up how I've had this conversation for many years with many people from all around the world, is because that's where I think I have more experience than the average person, is actually listening to other people and where they're coming from. That silence there is your opportunity to ask the question you wanted to just a second ago.
Just started, Lindsay. You didn't miss much.
You already lost me. Because again, we're back to your credentials rather than, I mean, I get off track with these things. Did you know me?
Don't know you, sir. I make very little presumptions about you.
Okay, MMLA. Sorry if that's what you want me to call you, or is it Landry?
I don't. Yeah,
Whatever.
you're right.
Okay, cool. Welcome, by the way. So can you just explain to me your argument against Dennison would be?
Well, it was more so trying to understand. That's the thing, right? When I come up with questions about, he's like, oh, capitalism, communism aren't real. They're just like a figment of our imagination because the government tells us this thing, but it's not really that thing. I'm coming up to want to ask him questions, but rather than just blatantly disagree, but it's just sort of it's a habit of ours.
And just RLM, in your opinion, because obviously I have my own. Do you not think that I did a relatively good job, especially given the time constraints, in just about 15 minutes, describing exactly why and how language is used to deceive us and how the government uses it to manipulate us, and that I didn't say that none of those things exist, that they all exist and they kind of coexist in every system?
No, I mean, he literally walked me down like step by step, and we ended up at the language.
He's not here for a conversation. He's just here to act retarded and be
I see. I don't know, Linda. He's new to me, but I would hope that you're here to engage in some kind of conversation.
I know that's the assumption of weak-willed people to think otherwise, right?
And for me, it was more personal because my father comes from Cuba. Yeah. So where this all kind of started was he basically told me that no, my parents, my dad, and then my grandparents were lying, or what So then he had to walk me down to
weak-willed. That's funny.
Step out of the box, the constraints of what we've been told, and that's kind of so. I think he did a pretty good job in explaining, and there was never a point where he said it didn't. What'd you say? It doesn't exist. Or
yeah, I mean that was the direct quote. Maybe he was just being sort of tongue in cheek, but he said that. I mean, I don't want to go back in this stream and find it. I mean, it was 20 minutes ago.
Yeah,
you should go back in the stream and find it, though. It would be helpful for you and the audience. How much time
should I spend per day listening to you to understand you, Dennison?
You're not listening, though.
Well, I mean, you're here.
She was listening.
You're here.
Just listening,
right? And right now, what you're doing is you're spending time not listening to me, and it would be more constructive. Yeah, but you don't listen to the answers.
How do you know that?
So you could, because I'm here having this obtuse conversation with you where it's one-sided, and you're not listening to the answers.
How so?
And I'm serious. You could go back and listen, and then if you can find where I said those words, it's almost certainly going to be surrounded in the context in which I'm being deliberately hyperbolic, and then I explain exactly what I mean by exist and isms, right? But you didn't hear any of that part. You only heard the part where you could be like, actually, what he just said, I could make an hour-long argument out of.
Did
And
I?
all I have to do is just not listen to any of the reasons.
But that's an assumption.
It's what it sounds like.
I know it is, and it's easy for you to have that perspective, right? Because when you are assuming the worst,
I'll be right back, darling. I gotta let the dog out.
the worst
Okay.
will always be.
I'm not assuming the worst.
Then
I'm
why
listening
would
to you and reacting to you.
But you're assuming I'm not listening to you because I don't.
No,
agree with
I did
everything
not
you-
assume that.
So
I would have
maybe-
hoped otherwise.
Did you
You
not
came
do that?
up here and demonstrated that you weren't listening to me.
How so?
I explained that already, and now you're doing it again.
So right now, am I
You
listening?
just no, because you just asked me how I'm not how just a little while ago you asked me how am I not listening to you, and I gave you a very terse but understandable explanation of exactly why I think you're not listening to me, and now you're asking me the same exact question again, indicating that you weren't even listening to the answer of that question. Never mind all the other shit that I said before you came up here, Landry.
Do you think that's authentic?
What?
That I'm just not listening to you, or that my
Um,
response doesn't fit
it-
into your more so desperate need for approval?
no, I don't need any approval from you,
don't
buddy.
need approval.
You're barking up the wrong tree.
So, but did you point to your credentials before, and then did you point to the host of the show and say, "Hey, I did a really great job with this," right?
I didn't say a really great job.
You said something like
I was trying to help you. Again, this is all giving you the benefit of the doubt,
I'm
and
giving
you're
you-
seeing it as me trying to prove
Explain
something
the
to
technology
you.
of it.
Whereas I could just be quiet right now. The only reason I'm engaging with you is because somehow, even as you try to prove me otherwise, and my friends criticize me for this,
I didn't start
they
anything.
criticize me because I still continue to give people like you the benefit of the doubt. For some reason, I believe something about you tells me you're actually smart and you want to learn. And that's why I'm trying to demonstrate to you in real time how you're not really listening, how you're misrepresenting what I'm saying, and how you don't even actually have any arguments or disagreements except to argue and disagree.
Do you not think I'm learning something right now? That might be. just
No,
outside
I think
of
you
your-
think you I think you think you are.
So do you
What
think that
are
maybe
you
you're-
learning?
I'm learning about the dynamics of internet communication, and I don't want to say clout because we're not really in that space here, but just the reasons why people come to these spaces, right? What leads people to come on here and talk to people like you, and it's a lot
And
of
it's loaded with
ideas or
assumptions.
people, right? It's ideas or people I hear that a lot.
Mhm.
And I find it fascinating that a lot of the ideas people sort of have this notion to them where they don't communicate like they would to a friend at the bar. They more so talk at you rather than talk to you. Does that make sense?
That's how
Yeah.
I talk to people at the bar.
This is not how you talk to people at the bar?
It is.
It is.
And if someone sat
that's what we
down and
understand
started
here,
talking the way you're talking, which is not how you would talk to someone at a bar, right? You're the one doing the thing that you say I'm doing. It's you.
Which is
You're
what-
the one here who has
which-
loaded with assumptions.
which
That's
specific
you
thing?
again, right?
Well, which
If
specific
you
thing?
sat down at the bar and talked to me that way,
What
I
was the
would
first-
talk to you exactly how I am right now. Out of the two of us, right? Anybody who's discerning knows I'm the one being genuine right now, Landry.
So we can't both be genuine?
We could,
Are we
we could,
debating?
but you're not
or,
being.
Or am I talking to you?
Sorry, say again.
Are we debating or am I talking to you?
I don't know. I mean, you're talking to me.
Exactly.
Okay.
So there's no
I
need to
agree.
have an assumption of disagreement based off of a question.
There is no need. I agree. So why do you come up here with all these loaded assumptions?
Because you're, talking to yourself.
What?
We, in this space, right? We all need a little bit of laundry.
I rest my case.
What did he say? As I just got back and put my head.
We all need a little bit of Landry.
So can I get a bit of history on this dude? Because obviously I don't know anything that.
He's
I mean, you just saw it.
He's just a huge piece of shit and a snake.
because I mean, comes
That
across as very soft spoken. So if I were to I'm just knowing him for the first time, it didn't feel snaky to me. But then again, you guys know him more than I do, so
Just have like one minor disagreement, and you'll see.
okay.
this is like you just saw his entire shtick. That's it.
And if
Okay.
you don't
You saw it
engage,
from
if you don't engage with it, he bitches, complains, whines, and tries to stab you in the back. Try to talk shit about you.
Mm,
And then when you
He's
address,
the one who's really learning about other people here. That's you got. Did you get that?
okay, got it.
He's the analytical one. Did you not? Did you pick up on that, or am I?
Yeah, no, there was. I mean, I will say it was a little. It was a little soft but condescending. Like,
No, it was deliberately condescending, but I'm not
Yeah.
so sure that he doesn't believe his own bullshit.
yeah, yeah. No, I can understand.
I just don't fuck with him. I don't talk to weak men. I'm just gonna be honest.
Not necessarily trying to learn anything, just trying to make a point. What you chewing on there, Ortho?
That is my dog chewing. He's got a bone that he's chomping down on.
Aw, baby. Well, that was. Go ahead.
No, that's a peanut butter jar. Makeshift chew toys are awesome and they're cheap.
Mm-hmm. RLM, your experience may be different though. No, Mandy. I don't have experience with the gentleman. This is my first time. No, actually, I was on. That's a lie. I was on. Now I remember it because he was under Landry. I was on CT's panel, and he came up and he had back and forth with JP, but that was it. So no, it's not enough for me to judge. But I'm here for genuine conversations. I'm here to learn. So that's really all that matters to me.
I mean, by all means, talk to who you want to. I just don't fuck with the guy.
No, I'm not saying that that's what you guys are implying. I'm just saying that, like I said, oh, you're so sweet, Mandy. I appreciate you. I'm just learning all these characters. Like, it's so funny how, like, you get, like, for instance, Dennison, how Nightish always says that he doesn't know you, but yeah, you guys go back years. I think it's like hysterical because he's not the only one that does that. There's quite a few.
I hurt his feelings the same way I hurt Landry's feelings. I had a fucking opinion.
And they say, I don't know who you are. Who is this person? And I'm like, what? It's so funny to me that like, obviously you guys know of each other. You know,
I had an opinion. That's it.
Yeah.
I had an opinion about a controversial subject that hurt their fifis.
Yeah.
Because I don't go after these men. You know,
but you have a very, very big effect on them, huh? Can we have RL channel in the chat? Yeah. You have a polarizing effect on people, no?
Yeah, that was on my side. It's
some weaker people.
Abby Normal, darling, that is the link that is pinned that will send you to RLM's video that we're streaming and chilling at. You can subscribe and also hit the StreamYard link there if you want.
Appreciate everyone that came over for Ortho, man. You guys are awesome. You've kept me at the highest viewership that I've had thus far. So shout out to Ortho. Shout out to his chat. You guys are undefeated. Love you guys. Super engaging. And I love that you're all here for the same smart conversation. For sure. There's a lot for me to like take in. And I have nothing opposing in my mind. What you said, it all made a whole lot of sense. Now where I struggle is, where do we find a solution? That's kind of like where my head is about everything, though. If I'm gonna be honest, it's
Are you afraid of universal health care?
Not at all. So my ex-husband is from Denmark. He came to the States when he was 28, but he got his citizenship like right before he and I met. So he was here for a long time without a citizenship. And I was on my way to, if we would have stayed together to get my citizenship over there with him, because he had dual, because our plan was to retire over there because of all the universal benefits that you get. So no, I'm not afraid of it.
So, I mean, right there, that's a victory. That's how we change.
Yeah.
If you ask a majority of Americans that question, I think at least half of them will tell you, yeah, it's the worst thing. That it's communism. We'll all die starving in the streets. The government
That's
will come
crazy.
murder us in our homes.
That's crazy.
Right. So when the conversation starts moving toward that kind of insanity and that kind of ignorance toward where you are, right? That's it. Then we have change. It really is that simple. It's
Yeah.
hard, right? Right. And there's a lot of moving parts. It's complex in its
And I would
substance.
say because it's linked, because ideas like this are linked to monsters or quote unquote so-called monsters of our past in history, like the H-man, like the M-man. You know what I'm saying? That it's
And that's
just
deliberate, isn't it?
it's deliberate, and it's like it's insane how we have such like it's almost like the conversation that I had this morning. I don't know if you were on. I think you had left already. Because I don't know if you know about the whole movement now of Black American. My camera's acting up, but I'll fix it in a minute. Black American people who come from indigenous like lines. So there's this like, group of people that say that their lineage never came over on. Oh, welcome, Raging Tomato. Salute, salute, salute. I'm a big fan of your stuff. Welcome, welcome to the Book of RLM. That their ancestry didn't come over on the slave trade, right? That there was an indigenous group of people that were always here. They cannot trace their lineage back to Africa. They are, indigenous Americans. And Nightish particular, Here for the Tea, who's another creator. I don't know if you guys know of her. She's a sweetheart. But they're constantly having to fight back and prove that no, like we're not African Americans. We're foundationally Black Americans. Our lineage does not come from Africa. You cannot trace it back there. Our people are always here. And people are so cognitively set on the fact that the only people that were here were the Mongolian, looking archetype Native Americans, and there was nobody else here. And they're literally telling these people that their lineage, that of what they know of, is wrong. It's a lie. And no matter which way you try to explain it to them, because they're so blinded to the fact that that's the only history that they know and that can be true, they actually argue with these people. And I said to them, like, if you look at now that we're finally realizing that so much that we've been told has been a lie, i.e. what you just explained to me, then why is it so hard for you to understand and believe that maybe also that particular story is also a lie, that not every melanated person has to come from Africa? So it's the same kind of conversation. People are just really, really, really locked into certain stories, narratives. They don't want to move away from it.
You got to beware historical revisionism as well, because there's a lot of that shit that the math don't math, and they also conflate being Black with like being related to somebody who's Native American.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you had a Native American grandmother or grandfather, you're not just Black, you're also Native American. That doesn't mean every Black person was Native American. That just means that your lineage has Native American DNA because you had a grandparent that was Native American.
No, but that's not the story. The story is actually that there were actual tribes here that were phenotypically Black.
There weren't. That's fundamentally false, though.
Okay, well then there's the argument. I'm telling you, you get into it. An FBA, they will fight you nail too. They will tell you that. Absolutely.
I mean, they can be wrong. They can be passionate.
So would you agree that there was free Black people here that weren't slaves? Can you agree with that narrative? Can you agree with the fact that there was more slave owners that were Black than there were white?
No.
Yeah,
no.
There's where you can switch up the conversation then.
Do I think that there was Black slave owners? Absolutely.
Yeah. Were there a lot? Yes. And they tended to use Black people to control the slaves too. So there's almost always a Black slaver in between the ownership of the plantation and the slaves themselves. That doesn't change the fact that most plantations in America were owned by white people.
But
small hats, but close enough for the close enough.
You will only consider the narrative that anyone who is of a Black phenotype came strictly from Africa.
No, I'll consider all narratives. The problem for the FBAs when it comes to me is I actually look into that shit, and I find that there's tons and tons of evidence that they're completely and utterly full of shit. All their dates are wrong, all their facts are wrong, and there's no evidence to support it. So as soon as like, and even then, I still admit it's possible because someone could have gone through history and hidden all the evidence on purpose, and then created a bunch of lies to the contrary to hide it. I know that because I understand history, right? But am I going to be convinced that it's true? No. And like, is it usually most like the attempts to hide evidence? The cover up is worse than the crime itself, right? And I see no evidence that they deliberately tried to hide the fact that black people used to live here. It's especially now. It's moot at this point. What would it get? What would the?
You can't necessarily say that because if you come from lineage that were quote unquote taken from your homeland, brought over on a ship to be used as chattel.
I don't give them any.
You would want to prove that maybe there might be something different than that story, right? Like you don't know what it is not to be able to trace your line back to a certain, like it's just been cut off.
Yeah. That's the code.
You wouldn't know what that feels like. So how could you say that it's moot for that?
No, I made it be moot for the white infrastructure.
Just because it feels
it's not moot for the people who are making up the lie. That makes perfect sense.
Right.
What do you believe in transgenderism? RLM?
Well, I mean, obviously it's real.
Yeah.
I'm saying.
What do you mean?
Can a man be a woman?
No.
Okay. So just because somebody doesn't know their lineage, we shouldn't give in to the transgender thing for certain reasons. We also shouldn't give in to the mental problem that this entire racial group seems to have because of that. It'd be the same as giving in to the transgender problem. It doesn't fix anything, and in fact, it makes things actively worse.
Yeah, they don't want to believe that they were slaves, and they want to believe that there's something fundamentally different between them and the black people that they don't like.
It's not my argument to make. I would disagree with some of the points that you guys are making, but I'm not going to get into it because.
Hold on, because there are.
Were there white people here? Indigenous white people.
I don't know. I wasn't there.
Well, my answer to the FBA is yes, because Vikings found.
Vikings come like first before anybody.
They were the second group here, then the Chinese, and then the blacks. Okay. Right. So, I mean, you can. But my thing is, just like Christopher Columbus dumped off a bunch of slaves and sold them to natives, those Vikings coming and getting shipwrecked and having these incidents, like, just because there were a few people that got shipwrecked here or sold into slavery does not mean they're indigenous to the land. And that's kind of what FBAs rely on, and that's my underlying argument.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yes, you should go see the Raging Tomato sometime.
Yeah, no, I'm a huge fan. Tomato, so whatever you want, I would definitely come.
I can just send you the whenever she's live. I can just send you the
whenever she has like open, I would love to join for sure.
Are you in Discord?
I'm in Dusty's
under RLM.
Yeah.
I'll find you DM. Give me
Chad Greg. Can you come up, my love? No one can see you. I don't know you, so I just need to make sure that you aren't. Oh, it's the same. You crack me up. Wait, but no, is this the guy? Are you a guy that goes to CTs? I think he is the kid that goes to CTs. Oh, I don't know. I can't. This one. It's too much for my brain to handle.
Sarah says, my door is always open for you. My panel.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Cool. I'm definitely joining then. Because what you have set up over there is what I love. Like, I watch as much as I can. So shout out to you for building that up. Salute. And yes, I have been watching the drama unfold. I'm not going to say that I'm not here for the salaciousness. I remember when Sarah was a little channel. Yeah, same. And then it was like mediocre, right? Like that rise is just amazing. Shout out. Inspiring as a lady. Great talks, guys. 64 so far. Salute to Ortho and his people. You guys, the link is pinned at the top, so please do not be shy. We do not bite. Anyone who wants to join and have something that you want to talk about, I mean, you know, me, what turns me on is definitely these conversations, conspiracies, what's going on, Epstein. Anything you want me to talk about, drop it in the chat. Come up and let us know. This is what, day 3 for me, and it's been so amazing. So salute to y'all for that. Like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. And if you would like to show any appreciation for me or the gentleman on panel, Ortho or Dennison, I believe they've pinned their PayPals and information in the chat. And for me, it's the Book of RLM at Cash App or Rebecca Marino 509 PayPal. Thank you. Go ahead, guys. It does turn me on. So, anything else?
Sarah
Lord?
kills me.
What?
Sarah kills me.
Why?
Trying to see if I can get Lily to come up.
She just makes me laugh. She should hit the panel.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
hit the panel. Come on, guys. Have some fun too. It doesn't have to be all serious. But I mean, I really did want to have that conversation with Dennison, because I was blocked in the brain, even like trying to figure out on my own the whole point. I was interested in the dark triad. Yeah. So dark female psychology. So here's my argument, right? Because when we'll shift it a little. So because when especially the red pill manosphere talk about women and talk about
You see what Sarah said? See what Sarah said?
red pill is a cope. What?
Because OG,
Because OG knows I have better shot of getting your number than he does.
I'm not here to get numbers. I'm just here to stare in awe. All right,
I
I'm
am.
just here to stare in awe.
I gave you my number and you didn't call me. It's in the email.
I did.
Oh, no, you didn't. You have to send
I
me a
did
text.
too.
You have to send me a text. I told you.
I did send you a text.
No, I did not get a text from you, buddy. Stop lying.
I don't lie.
Lely Gross?
Yeah, that's my girl. It's my homegirl.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, for real.
Okay. So, all right, hold on. Add to stage. Hey, can you say something, Lely?
Hello, can you hear me?
Hi. Perfect. Yes, we can hear you. Okay.
Okay.
That's funny.
So I don't
can't
know what
hear
y'all
her,
was
and I'm
saying
using
because I
my
was
loser
backstage, but just let me say this:
it'll catch up though.
not being
Senior
able
has been
to,
dog shit lately.
Wait, what? I can't understand.
yes,
Yeah, that's her.
being able to read and write, being illegal, also knowing that when you didn't learn that you was a slave until you got to the white people school. Yes, also knowing the whole life you've lived that you were an Indian, and then as soon as you get to the white people school, one day they just decide to tell you you were a slave, and you got to go home with that gut punch and ask your people why y'all didn't tell us we were slaves, and they looking at you like you crazy. Like why y'all still
Okay.
in that dumbass school? Like for real.
Okay. So you're of the mind that what I was saying is right then.
It is. That's what I lived it. I'm 49 now, and my whole life before I got to the white schools that they bust us to, I was an Indian. I have an Indian doll that my grandma passed down to me that looks just like me. I mean, I'm dark skinned, Cherokee and Blackfoot Indian from Florida all the way up to
Florida.
Virginia.
Right. I've
And
seen
I'm
like
born in
old
Nashville,
pictures.
Tennessee.
Yeah.
My lineage comes from Tennessee and Alabama. Period. You don't
Okay.
find out your slave till you get to school, and then yes, they hit it because why are we the only people to get our name changed every 30 years? We've been everything. Like what? You gonna make us be from Africa so we have no claim to the land? Now y'all
To
can
the land.
proceed as you will, but I gotta go. But I'm gonna be in here listening. But every time I walk off, the phone mess up because it's fucked up.
I
Thank you for
appreciate
letting me
you.
come up. I'm back to the chat. All right.
I appreciate you, Lily. Yeah. So there you go.
I mean, every white woman is a Cherokee princess, and every black person is Blackfoot. All right, I guess. My thing about it is like, for one, half the tribes that these people be mentioning, like, ain't even where they from. The Blackfoot tribe is not from Florida to fucking Virginia. It's a Great Plains tribe, first and foremost. Like, if white people were trying to disconnect people from the land, we would have done that with the red man, and they wouldn't have reservations. Like, we would have just completely, like, that's crazy to me. I don't that.
Yeah, there's a lot of colorism in there.
I don't know. I've seen people do,
But
like,
when I say the N word, it's
deep
a bad
dives
thing.
into these tribes that aren't black, that are white, that have shown pictures, and there's a clear difference between certain tribe members that were based in, like, let's say, for instance, out of Florida, which also are the ones that I told you were considered quote unquote giants. But not the like super uber giants. We're talking about the ones that were like 15 foot or, you know.
The thing is, like, the Blackfoot she mentioned, right? They're
Yeah.
from Canada. They're from Canada and Montana area, right? Montana and Alberta are where a lot of the three original tribes. See, I actually know the history because I love it. Like, why would
Me too. Like, I like really do a lot of deep dives into the history of Florida. 'Cause I love it too. But like I said, these are the arguments that because I roll like in a lot more of like of the melanated spaces, and I see how passionate they get, and I just try to put myself in their shoes and how frustrating it would be.
passion doesn't mean they're right?
I understand that, but if that's what they believe, and then that's what they've been taught through their line, through their family, through their aunties, their grandmas, great grandmothers, how are you then going to tell them that they're wrong? You know what I'm saying? That's frustrating. Like,
I honestly don't see. I think it's a false dichotomy. I think you could have very well have grown up in an area where black people owned property and weren't shipped in from Africa, and they had their own communities, and so they learned about their recent local history when they went to school, and they didn't have a lot of knowledge about plantation lifestyle. I don't think that means black people were here before anybody else and that they're Native American.
That makes sense. That makes sense to me. I'm not gonna argue on that. Like I said, it's not my argument to make.
I don't rule it out completely, though.
I don't like myself for this because I'm trying to be better. I just think they're stupid on a genetic level and they fall for dumb shit.
God damn! How can you? Oh, here we go. Here's my baby girl T. T, you need to come up and give some pushback here, because girl, I've been fighting the fight, and what Ortho just said was inappropriate and wrong and rude.
Oh, I think that about a lot of white people too.
No, I know.
Like, some people are just retarded on a genetic level.
I'm just trying to stir up some TT. Shots fired. Yum. So, but I always like to look at both sides of the argument. I never want to tell someone that they're wrong. Who am I to tell them what they think and feel is wrong? Not to say that I'm sitting here telling, affirming, transgenderism, stuff like that. No, but when it comes to someone's lineage and background, I mean, who am I to say anything? Now, the argument for the reparations thing, that's a different story. I kind of feel a little differently on that, but.
Oh, do you think people should get reparations?
No, I don't.
I think everyone should get universal basic income.
I think, yeah, I mean, our certain groups of people totally owed certain things and were treated unfairly 100%. But at this point,
but those particular families that were promised that land, their descendants should probably be given adjusted for inflation. Yeah. Or money adjusted for inflation.
Money, I mean, relief and taxes, but to take from like us that have nothing to do with that to get, like, no. I think
they don't
other ways.
care. The only reason they use the race card is because you let them. If you didn't give a fuck, they wouldn't be able to use it against you. It's not some objective morality. They use it to their benefit to fuck you over. They don't care. And I don't blame them for it. If you had a weapon that you could wield and get what you needed or what you wanted as a group, everyone would do it.
There was a legitimate agreement made, though, for some limited families from the South.
Hey, Lindsay. Linzilla,
Um,
welcome.
yes and no,
Welcome.
right?
Thank you.
A general made a assumption for about 10,000 people that they'd be given 40 acres and a mule, and that was during the March to the Sea and the occupation of the South. That general, however, said that and made those promises without the permission of the federal government.
He's able to do so, though. He was authorized to do so.
Well, the federal government ruled that he did not. And that's why they were never given that.
But why do you think that they in particular were not given what they were told they were going to be given, as opposed to all other minority groups?
All other minority groups have gotten nothing. The Japanese have never been given reparations for internment camps.
How about the natives?
The natives were never given reparations. They were actually pinned up into internment camps. If you think there's a difference between a reservation and an internment camp, you really don't know a lot of
Okay,
things.
well now you're breaking down like my my knowledge and belief to other thing. Like, you guys need to take it slow with me. I don't even know what an internment camp
The
is.
difference is autonomy.
Okay.
I mean, the natives have a lot of leeway legally.
And the
See,
They have
Japanese
their
had a
own
lot of
state
you need to
rights.
come up here, girlie. Like, I brought up the argument, but you need to come up here. Come on.
And we should really stop calling them natives either. They're not natives. They're Polynesian immigrants.
Right.
Get them out. Get them out.
So do we know who the actual indigenous people were? Then we really don't know. If we're saying that
are none.
everyone was brought over.
Humans
Yeah,
were
there
not.
are none. There's
Human-
indigenous people to Africa.
That's it.
Everywhere else, human beings migrated to from Africa.
No, the
Asia-
out of Africa,
Asia
the
too.
out of Africa theory was debunked because the oldest human remains have been found. I believe it was Bosnia.
Really? Bosnia? That's new.
It's the theory of origins, and it said we're either from Asia or Africa. Has that been debunked?
Yes, because the oldest human remains were found somewhere in southern Europe, near Turkey, near the Turkey border.
I think you're
Older than
misrepresenting that.
Lucy?
Yeah, well, the older human remains. Lucy wasn't a human. She was still I forget what she was. She was still kind of apish.
Okay. This is Sarah, right, guys?
It's me.
Hey,
Yes.
welcome.
I can't stay for
welcome.
long because I'm totally so sleep deprived. I'm going to collapse.
Aren't
But
you-
She
essentially,
saw them titties
reparations.
and had to come up. Don't know about you.
I knew you guys handled it very well. But reparations would mean that like we owe you something, right? But if you really think about it, what would we owe you? Why? Because we kicked your ass? Because we had the ability to force you to do whatever it is we wanted. We were able to force you off the land, or we were able to force you into enslavement and so on and so forth. You couldn't even defend yourself to not be sold as slaves, right? So what do we owe reparations for? Because you were too weak? Like, you really have to think about that. We were doing what the average uh, country would do in order to expand or take over or protect their own country or duty, so on and so forth, yada yada yada. Like, it's not our fault you suck, right?
Because
If
there
you
was
think
a
about it,
truce made.
it was only made to be thought of as, oh, we should give reparations and feel bad for people because it was more recent. It's still fresh and new, but you wouldn't take this back to Egypt and be like, hey, they were all enslaved, and the pharaohs owned them and made them do all this shit. Nobody's like asking for reparations for shit that's happening 2,000 years ago or beyond that. I mean, this is literally how countries were made, collapsed, how they spread, how they expanded and minimized or got disappeared altogether because they couldn't defend their own country. We don't feel bad for them now, do we? No. So why should we feel bad
Yes.
at this day and age? Because it's just kind of part of the process. And this, I know this kind of speaks into the forced doctrine piece of it, but it's still reality. Like, if you can't defend your own shit, why should we feel bad for you and pay you later because we kicked your ass? That's like giving out participation trophies And what kind of precedence will that set going forward for anyone else's asses who we kicked? And then they can turn around and be like, well, why don't you give us some money since you kicked our butts and we couldn't defend ourselves? That's horseshit. Why would we do that?
Couldn't you say that we kind of did that with the Native American Indians when we gave them casinos? I mean, that's not exactly per se reparations, but that's kind of like, hey,
Well, it's a
you guys
truce.
mistreated us, and we got casinos or whatever, whatever.
Well, the reason why they
So
get
why not the
casinos is
Chinese
because
Wait, wait, hold on, Miss
ahead.
Sarah, hold on. Let me
Go
address
Guys,
this.
give me 1 second. There's money on the table. Ruck Dog, $2. Salute
Mhm.
to you. Shuffling cards on hot mic while they talk. Rude. I appreciate you for that. Shout out to you. And we also have a $10 cash app from Here for the Tea. Sarah, I'm sorry. We do bounties here. It's $1 per minute. And she
Hell
asked
yeah.
that I drop you
That's
for
all right.
10 minutes. So thank you for making me money, girlfriend. Your views
I'm
made
all
me
for
money
it.
right away.
I
So
support it. But can they pay the
do.
bounty to bring me back? That's the question. Dun,
that's the
dun,
question.
dun.
Anyone want to
I'll
bring
enjoy my
Sarah
time
back?
backstage.
I appreciate it, baby.
Mhm.
Thank you. All right, guys, go ahead. It's,
So
so $10 bounty, 10 minutes for Sarah, starting right now.
We
Someone
made
can
agreements with these people.
Someone can
We
I
keep
have
made
track. It's
agreements.
we hold on a second. So about 3:19 Eastern time to bring her back, unless someone wants to drop money to bring her back. Go ahead, guys.
I got a 10-minute timer going for you.
Thank you so much.
So basically, and this is because I agree with 100% with Sarah. You said reparations. Reword that again because we went a little bit past that. What is it you said about Native Americans?
She didn't say anything.
That was Lindsay. So her and I were in agreement that go ahead. And you guys go ahead. I'm gonna step away for just 1 second. Keep the conversation going. Thank you.
Okay.
About reparations, I was making the argument that couldn't you say that Indian casinos, Native American Indians being granted casinos, are somewhat of a reparation kind of thing, like a consolation prize?
No, because the Native Americans in no way deserve reparations. I don't know if you studied the Indian American Wars.
I'm likening, probably not as extensively as you did. I'm likening that kind of reparation because why didn't we, when the Chinese and the Black people worked on the railroad system in America, and a lot of them were subjugated to extremely low pay and somewhat slave labor, why didn't we feel like we owed the Chinese reparations? You know, I'm kind of thinking of reparations in a kind of metaphorical way because maybe it doesn't mean just granting money. I'm so sorry we did this to you or enslaved you or we're imperialists, but it can be in the form of, well, gee, we'll give you favoritism about casinos. We'll let you have things that we can't have because they're illegal for us and legal for you.
These were treaties. The
Wouldn't it-
Native
couldn't-
Americans are allowed to have casinos because they have their own autonomy, and
My
that was
question is
granted
not
as part of a truce to end the war. And the
Is
same
it
thing
true?
happened. The same thing happened with 40 Acres and a Mule. The general agreed with those black families that he would set aside land of them. It was an agreement to cease fire, to cease hostilities.
I think that
He
I don't
wasn't
confuse
fighting.
the
He
two.
wasn't
I know you
fighting on behalf or against those black folks.
I know that you can differentiate between the two clearly and distinctively and using a dictionary or something. But I said at the beginning, you could somewhat make an argument for favoritism in some way, shape, or form based on bad deeds of the past, whatever these, bad deeds are considered.
That's the problem, Lindsay, right? Because I don't give a fuck
I think it's a
about other
euphemism.
people. No, I don't give a fuck about
You
other
would say that.
people. I care.
Why are we even talking
my
about
people
this?
and my nation? Because these people expect things from my people. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck what you and yours went through because me and mine went through shit too. It is what it is.
I don't disagree. I'm not for reparations. I'm just saying, hey, how come we treat these groups differently than these groups when we pretty much imperialized
Treaties.
or subjugated? And I'm arguing again that a treaties seems like a softer, nicer, more palatable word for reparation. That's all. I just see a closeness. That's all.
There's a difference between enslaving someone and forcing them to work on your railroad than there is in going to war with someone, and then in the middle of that war, you sit down both sides and then agree on a truce.
We're talking about subjugation in both instances, though.
No, I'm not. I'm talking about
The
two
40
sides
acres and a
of
mule
a
was
war.
never a truce. It was
Give me,
it was
give me a
it was
second,
a
guys. Give me
declaration.
a second. Eric, can you Okay, thanks, babe. And YouTube Chad Light, I need you to cam up, love, because I don't know exactly who you are. If you can't cam up, then I can't have you on stage. Oh, you. This guy's funny, bro. All right, go ahead, guys. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
What are you guys talking about?
Reparations.
Okay.
Black people shit.
Etc.
Oh, what up, Eric?
I would argue
What's up,
also,
Benson?
I'm in California. California was not a slave state, so you're not getting my money. I know that sounds really bitchy, but that's my logic. I am sorry for what was done to certain populations. But does that mean I owe them money? I didn't do
Yeah.
it.
No, if you're sorry, you owe them money. You have guilt. You're sorry. Hey, pay them.
I'm sorry they were mistreated. I didn't do
I
it.
just want to say, RLM, this is the type of gay shit we have to let go of in order to become a type 1 civilization. This is what I was referring to earlier. So I'm not going to argue with everybody on this panel, but just to make that point real quick.
Right, but okay. So what might be gay? Is that fair to say though? Because what might be gay to you
Well,
is really
I mean,
important to somebody else.
Yeah, I get that it's really, really important to them, and it's still gay.
The thing is, Dennis. The thing is, Dennis, and some people are never going to see a type 1 civilization. Other people could do it on their own.
I think I know what you're getting at. Are you getting at the liberal lefty feeling sorry for, people that have been subjugated in the past versus the hardcore truth?
Some genetics drag down the gene pool.
He's talking about white people.
Okay.
White people and Asians do not have to cooperate with each other or anyone else. Alone,
Yes.
we could become a type 1 civilization.
Yes, they do. Silly talk.
What do you think
Everything
about
that's ever been done is through cooperation. No one person does anything by themselves. It's a myth.
I'm not talking about just individuals. I'm talking about groups of individuals.
Individualism is turning out to be like a shit ideology too. It's a failed experiment.
He does.
Don't disagree with you.
It's okay, Ike. No worries. Welcome. Anyone new? 58 so far. God bless Ortho, Dennison, and his crew. Welcome, Lindsay.
Yo, let's get some eggs
have
in
you here.
the chat.
Ike, shout out to Ike in the chat.
Yeah, shout outs. And now we have E-Deep. Welcome, entering in. So shout out to you guys. So what do you think about the conversation so far? So basically, let me just give you. So we started the whole argument of indigenous, right? That your people come from are indigenous to this land. The argument that we didn't come across in the slave trade, and that brought us then to the whole reparations argument.
Okay. From what I was told by my family, we were never slaves. We always been here in America, and we forever will be here in America, from what I know. Because I have children here and they will always be American. When it comes to the reparation argument, I think that's more of the people who came from Africa over to here, and it doesn't apply to my people who's been here. Granted that we all been reclassified as black, right? So my question is for those people who say that we don't deserve reparations, people like me who've been here since, do we deserve reparations or no? And I'm not trying to blame anybody. I'm not trying to blame any other
No
white
one
person.
deserves reparations for anything. No white, no black, no Mexican, no Asian, no Hispanic. Nobody deserves reparations for anything.
Can you name any other race that was given reparations for their transgressions that they've been through in the past?
Not unless it was part of a losing a war in a peace treaty. No.
So
Which the 40 acres and a mule was.
It was not. It was literally. It was some fuck ass general who thought he had the authority when he didn't.
Some fuck ass general.
remember
Dude,
General
you're making
Bucka.
an ass out of yourself right now.
Dennison, are you saying that people in power don't sometimes assume that they have more power than they do and it gets struck down by a governing body?
No, I'm saying that the dude who was in charge of that entire territory after they took it over, right, and claimed it for the Confederacy, literally is the general, for fuck's sake, is the guy who has the authority to do this. He's not just some fuck ass. That's exactly how that shit was done. It's how we did it. It's how we did it with the fucking Native. Just scream louder. Just scream louder. Have a good one. It was a good conversation while it lasted, Arlen. Thank you. I love you. I'll see you guys later.
Oh, there he goes. There he goes.
No, because he knows I know the fucking history behind it.
Thank you,
The
Denny.
dude did not have the authority to do it. He didn't have the authority to do it. Dennison knows this to be the case. He knows I know the fucking history. He's doing the same shit he accuses everybody else of doing. Fuck him if he's gonna act like that.
Yikes.
Yeah.
I wish we didn't have to
him,
fight.
like rage dropping on me, but hopefully he comes back.
Oh, he rage quit? Oh wow.
No, he just when he gets like he over something. But we did have a great conversation. So I'm gonna bring Sarah back because Sarah made a good point, right? It basically was if we were to give your line, Eric,
Our time is
your people because you lost basically, then doesn't that, and you were conquered, then we wouldn't have to go back and give like every other civilization that was conquered reparations?
I mean, isn't that what happened with the
Or
Chinese
treaties.
and other weren't the Chinese conquered and weren't they given reparations?
No, we
No.
imprisoned the Chinese during
Chinese
was it World
imprisoned
War
us.
One or two? I forget which one we
It was
imprisoned.
it was you racist. It was the Japanese, and they got interned.
Yes, sir.
My bad.
Every Japanese citizen in the U.S. was subject to internment. Not every citizen got interned, but like 70% of them did, and they lost all of their constitutional rights. And they never got reparations. They were literally apologized to. They lost their house. They lost their communities. They lost their businesses. And was interned for like 5 years.
Well, and let me ask you this to the panel. If you were able to choose whether you were going to be on the winning team or the losing team in a war, and you had the choice you could make in the beginning up front, and they said pick the team you want to be on, and you already know what the results are going to be, which team are you going to pick?
Obviously.
Okay. Let's say I'm on a winning team, but I'm on a bench. Would that still consider me a winner?
Okay, you're changing the hypothetical. If you could pick which
Yes.
team you wanted to be on, and you already knew which
Thank you
team
for
was going to
answering my
win and which
question,
team
Mr.
was
Brown.
going to lose, which team would you choose?
The winning team, obviously, but if I'm on a bench, do I still count as a winner if I'm not even into the play?
You're adding more shit to the equation that doesn't need
Yes,
to be
because
there.
you still benefit from it. If you're playing for a team professionally, you still get paid whether you ride
still
the
get
bench. or
you
not.
still get the Super Bowl ring if your team wins the Super
Just
Bowl
go
and
with
you
your
ride the bench the
hypothetical.
whole time.
What was your point?
But yeah, totally off guard. But the point of it is nobody wants to be on the losing team. Why? Because you lose. What do you lose? You lose your livelihood, your right to something, your the trophy, the whatever. You lose. Okay. Giving out reparations changes the dynamic of conquering a territory or conquering a place or taking over or whatever the case may be. Like, why are you going to give reparations when you lost?